Imagine a city completely under the control of one man, a man who ruled the economy, the politics, and the blood in the streets. A man whose word was stronger than a bullet, yet he had both. He wasn't just a criminal. He was a country within a country. A man who challenged governments, exposed corruption, and changed the world with one weapon: cocaine. This isn't a movie scene, and it's not a writer's fiction. This is real, and the man whose name still haunts history. Pablo Escobar, the king of cocaine, the devil with the face of a hero. Yes, Sotam, welcome to Attention. And today we bring you the full story of the most dangerous criminal of the 20th century, from the first step to the last bullet. Pablo Emilio Escobar was born on December 1st, 1949, in a small Colombian town called Rio Negro, into a poor family. His father was a humble farmer, and his mother was a local schoolteacher. Pablo wasn't an ordinary child. From an early age, he had a sharp mind and big ambition. As a teenager, he sold fake lottery tickets and even stole gravestones to resell them to builders. He didn't care about education. Even though he enrolled in university briefly, he quickly dropped out. He once told his friends, "School won't make me rich. I want money. A lot of it. And fast." This was the beginning of a mind that planned without conscience and acted without fear. In the 1970s, when cocaine was starting to flood into the United States, Pablo found the gold mine he was looking for. He built a small smuggling network and quickly gathered a group of loyal, skilled criminals around him. In 1976, he founded the Medellin cartel, which would become the largest drug organization in the world. He bought coca leaves from Bolivia and Peru, manufactured cocaine in secret jungle labs, then transported it into the US using private planes, submarines, and even inside the stomachs of smuggled animals. At the height of his empire, the cartel was supplying 80% of the cocaine entering the US. He was earning around $420 million a week, nearly $22 billion a year. The money was more than he could count. He bought warehouses just to store cash and still lost millions yearly to rats and humidity. He reportedly spent $2,500 a month just on rubber bands to hold the cash bundles together. But that wasn't enough for Pablo. He didn't just want to be rich, he wanted to be untouchable. In 1982, Pablo entered the world of politics. Using his wealth and power, he joined the Colombian Congress as an alternate member, presenting himself as a man of the people. He gave money to the poor, built homes, connected electricity and water. In the slums, people called him Colombia's Robin Hood. But not everyone was fooled. Justice Minister Rodrigo Lara Bonilla stood up to him publicly and accused him of being a drug kingpin. Months later, Lara was assassinated by gunmen. A clear message: oppose Pablo, and you die. From that moment, the war began. Pablo Escobar declared war on the state. He began bombing cities, assassinating police officers, judges, and journalists, anyone who stood in his way. paid with their life, and sometimes their families too. One of his most infamous acts was the bombing of Avianca Flight 203 in 1989, hoping to kill a presidential candidate. The plane exploded midair, killing all 110 innocent passengers. The world was in shock, but Pablo called it a small price for a big goal. The US entered the fight, sending special forces to help track him down. But no one could catch him. He was always one step ahead. In 1991, the Colombian government tried to calm the chaos by striking a shocking deal with Pablo. He would surrender in exchange for building and living in his own prison. It was called La Catedral, but it was more like a luxury resort. It had a soccer field, jacuzzi, TVs, and unsearched visitors. Pablo ran his empire from inside without interruption. But once it was discovered he was ordering murders from inside the prison, the government decided to move him, so he escaped. And that began the biggest manhunt in Colombia's history. For 16 months, Pablo was on the run, moving from safe house to safe house. But pressure kept mounting, and his enemies were closing in. The police, rival cartels, the Americans, even some who once admired him, all turned against him. On December 2nd, 1993, his 44th birthday, he made a phone call to his son. That call was traced. Forces raided the house, and the rooftop chase began. Within seconds, a bullet went through his head. The king of cocaine fell, in silence and blood. Pablo Escobar wasn't just a drug dealer. He became a symbol of an era filled with chaos, violence, and corruption. Even today in Medellin, some mourn him, and others are still recovering from the damage he caused. How did a poor boy rise to threaten the world's strongest nation? How can good and evil exist in one man? And how does greed and power turn a human into a monster? This was the story of Pablo Escobar. He started from nothing, reached the top, but chose the darkest path. If you liked this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got more insane, mysterious, and dark stories coming. Tell us in the comments, what shocked you the most about Pablo's story? Catch you in the next episode of Attention, where we uncover the darkest side of reality. Stay sharp, and remember, some of the most dangerous people wear the nicest smile.